This video will cover some of the properties of ordinary least squares as a modeling tool. By the end of this video, you'll understand some desirable properties that ordinary least squares has for predictive modeling and why ordinary least squares is used so often in modeling. Remember that ordinary least squares is a modeling tool. It assumes a linear model, no feature selection, and it uses mean square error as the loss function. Why is it that ordinary least squares is used so often in predictive modeling? OLS has very nice mathematical properties. Finding the parameters, those b's, that minimize squared errors is computationally very easy. Remember that OLS is using mean square error as the loss function. In a previous video, I outlined a procedure where you make a guess of the parameters, compute the loss function, and repeat until you minimize the loss function. That's not how it works with OLS. There's actually a formula that allows you to compute the parameters that minimize the loss function directly from your data. These computational advantages are important. Other modeling tools can take thousands of times the computer time of OLS. OLS also has additional properties that make it very useful for modeling and forecasting. What are these properties? Ordinary least squares is the blue. What do I mean by this? It's the best linear, unbiased estimator. What do I mean by OLS being the blue? It's best in that OLS is the best or most precise predictive model amongst all linear models that are unbiased. What does all of this mean? Predictions from OLS models will have very, very low variance. They'll be very precise. And also, on average, they'll be correct, which is the unbiased component. So amongst all possible models that use a linear functional form and that are also correct on average, OLS produces the most precise predictions. So what does this mean for OLS? It has a lot of nice statistical and mathematical properties. And in particular, these lead to a very, very low computational cost. It also does a very good job, in fact, the best job under some assumptions, of estimating linear models. In particular, predictions from OLS will have very low error variance. So if you have the model right, it's going to minimize the chances of having wildly inaccurate predictions. It's the combination of all of these advantages that make OLS a very common modeling tool.